Nadine Dorries. We remember her from moments like these, where it's difficult to tell if she's drunk, surly,
Can I
or
ask
both.
why you refuse to go on to Channel 4 News to answer questions on why you want to privatise Channel 4?
That's my right to do so.
Or is the answer finished?
Have you spoken to the Prime Minister recently, in the last 24 hours?
Why? Why are you asking me that question?
She's finally resigned though, so it seems apt to look back at a political career that shows a history of courting TV and general stupidity.
Cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns.
What's in the middle of that hot cross bun?
Hot cross bum.
Not showing up to Parliament for almost a year was not the first time she bowed out of duties as a minister, courting controversy by appearing on I'm a Celebrity in 2012, a controversy that was then compounded by her not declaring her fee for appearing.
An ostrich anus.
Oh, you're not for real.
And you're off.
But before I'm a Celebrity, Dorries appeared in a Channel 4 Dispatches documentary about the growth of Christian fundamentalists that want to chip away at abortion rights.
My hope is found. He is my life, my strength, my song.
But there are much more powerful figures in this new Christian movement. Andrea Williams is a barrister who has sacrificed her career for her love of Jesus.
Okay, bye.
Andrea is now spending a lot of time inside Parliament, working closely with the Conservative MP Nadine Dorries.
Get an extra clause.
What goes on in here would have no structure whatsoever, no sense of achievement if it wasn't for people like Andrea on the outside.
Andrea continues to be a driving force behind Nadine. I mean, Andrea is somebody who makes no secret of the fact that she's a fundamentalist in her religious belief. How comfortable are you with the idea that somebody who's a religious fundamentalist should have the kind of access to power and influence that Andrea has?
Pull off a leg and give it a try.
Well, there are people who have completely the opposite point of view to Andrea, who also have the same access. Being an MP, you're there for anyone to give you their opinion.
One last
Oh my God, this is
bit to
amazing.
go.
Come on.
Wait.
Oh, God, it's horrible!
I mean, I wonder if with Andrea's other views, for instance, I don't know if you've discussed her views about Islam very much.
No, we haven't. We've never discussed it.
You believe that Islam is the work of the devil, don't you, Andrea?
No, I think you're, hang on. I believe that Islam is a false religion. That's what I believe, and there are many things that are false in this world.
Got it. Well done. Well done.
That is amazing.
No, that was disgusting.
That's one meal. Well done.
So that, and,
And
you know,
what does that mean exactly?
I do, as I've said.
At this point, Andrea decides to turn her microphone off.
Somehow, though, she was given the role of Secretary for Culture and Media, pursuing a witch hunt against Channel 4, leading to this almighty faux pas that showed how sloppy she was at doing her homework.
So I would argue that to say that just because Channel 4 has been established as a public service broadcaster and just because it's in receipt of public money, we should never kind of audit the future of Channel 4 and we should never evaluate how Channel 4 looks in the future and whether or not it's a sustainable and viable model. It's quite right that the government should do that.
But Channel 4 is not like the BBC. It's not in receipt of licence fee money. It makes its money from commercial operations.
And so, although it's,
It's no secret her attachment to Boris Johnson, even having him as a guest on her first show on Talk TV.
Let's crack on with my interview with my friend and former Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Her own show, a show she hosted during the year she didn't turn up to Parliament or do any of her duties as an MP for Mid Bedfordshire.
So, what's it like being at home with the kids? Are they seeing more of Dad?
They are, yes, and it's fantastic because, you know, I've got a very full day. I'm doing lots of writing and...
Yeah, I wasn't implying that you were at home all the time.
I want to be clear about that.
And she's even written a book about the Johnson premiership, believing it wasn't the fact Johnson was a useless twat that was found to have parted his way through the pandemic lockdowns, but was actually the victim of a conspiracy to bring him down. The explosive behind-the-scenes account of the plot to bring down Boris Johnson. You think you live in a world where the elected are chosen by the people? Think again. When Boris Johnson came to power in 2019, he did so with the largest Conservative majority since Margaret Thatcher. Rewriting the political map, he united a party and shattered Labour's fabled Red Wall. Enough of that. Let's not forget that she actually backed Liz Truss to be Prime Minister, for goodness sake.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. So I think you're here to tell us which candidate you're going to be backing.
Well, I'm going to be backing Liz Truss. I've sat with Liz in Cabinet now for some time. Very aware that she's probably a stronger Brexiteer than both of us.
So here we reach the end of her political career, where after promising to stand down and after a year of not attending Parliament, well, let's let Chris Bryant MP explain.
I don't want to preach to my colleagues. All of us need to strive to do better. But when you see somebody like Nadine Dorries,
yes,
not turning up to Parliament, not speaking in Parliament for more than a year, not turning up to vote for
Just to
months,
explain, I mean, people know, she said she was going to resign.
with immediate effect.
With immediate effect, didn't,
Yeah.
and is now earning money as the Mid-Bedfordshire MP, but frankly
also
being
paying
accused
her-
of not doing anything, really, for her constituents.
And also paying her two daughters on the taxpayers' money as well.
To Nadine, though, it was all an attack. An attack on her... Well, let's let Nadine tell us this part.
Do you know what? I'm broken-hearted, not just for me, but for everybody who comes from a background like mine, who in today's world don't have the ability to climb ladders that they used to have years ago, who struggle to aspire because they feel that it just isn't worth being aspirational, it isn't worth working hard, because they see others from different backgrounds who take the spoils. And it kind of breaks my heart because that's what this story is. This story is about a girl from Breck Road in Liverpool who worked every day of her life since she was 14 years old, had something offered to her that people from that background don't get offered, removed by two privileged posh boys who went to Winchester and Oxford, and taken away duplicity and cruelly, because they have known for months that it wasn't the case.
After pissing off her constituents...
Well, we want an MP who's effective and working in the constituency for the constituency. And at the moment, I'm afraid Nadine is not working for the constituency.
Finally, it was time to go, but she's angry, very angry, and wants Sunak's head on a plate. Or does she just want the continued exposure? Or both? What do you think?
And I think it's also important to make the point, actually, which I do in my resignation letter, is that this nonsense that my constituency and my constituents have been ignored, it is nonsense. I have a team of very professional 4 caseworkers who have been working diligently throughout the summer, as have I. My constituency has not been neglected. And that's something I wanted to put right in this letter. But of course, that's something the Prime Minister also knew. So I'm very disappointed that the Prime Minister chose to go out, make comments that my constituents were not being represented when he knew that they were.
Click here for a song about Dorries.